What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to give you guys an update on Atlanta Falcons training camp. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content or NFL content. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to give my update on Atlanta Falcons training camp. So they did state today that in training camp, a scuffle did break out between James Pierce Jr. And Matthew Bergeron, my offensive lineman. Also, they stated that Leonard Floyd also got into it with Ryan Newsel. And it was a couple different scuffles out there at training camp today. Personally, I don't think that this is necessarily a bad thing. I do believe that the Atlanta Falcons have been known over the last couple years as a team. Basically, that's a finesse football team. Even though we're able to run the ball and things of that nature on the offensive side of the ball, and we have a nasty offensive line, I really feel like the defensive line has struggled over the last, say, 5 to 6 to 7 years as far as getting pass rush and being able to stop the run. But bringing in a guy like James Pierce Jr., he is a guy that plays with an edge that we drafted out of Tennessee. Adding a guy like Jalen Walker is another guy that plays, with his hair on fire and plays with a different style as far as a different attitude. But I really feel like James Pierce Jr. is that guy that can be one of those guys that adds some edge to this Atlanta Falcons defensive line. And I feel like every team needs one of those guys that plays with an edge and sometimes toes the line or even crosses the line at some points. And today, Jeff Ulbrich did talk about it after the training camp practice that they want these guys to play hard, but they don't want the fighting and things of that nature. And they talked about taking care of your teammates and things of that nature, but knowing how to reach that line but not cross the line. That's something that also Dwayne Ledford, the offensive line coach for our Atlanta Falcons, he talked to the press as well after training camp practice, and he stated the same thing. He stated that it's similar to having like a NASCAR driver where you want to push that car to the limit, but you don't want to have an accident, and wreck your car. So I definitely think that both Dwayne Ledford as the offensive line coach and Jeff Ulbrich and even Raheem Morris, they're stating the right things, that you don't necessarily want to have fighting where a player could get injured, where it kind of would be like friendly fire, where you're hurting your own players out there at training camp. But you do want to have guys that are competitive. You do want to have guys that's going to go out there and compete, and you do want to have that edge. So I'm glad to see that these guys, no one was seriously injured in these dust-ups, as they called it, or these scuffles. But I do like that I see these guys are out there competing, and I do like that the defense, especially on the defensive line in the trenches, these guys are taking it personal out there. These guys are showing a little bit of nastiness on the, in the trenches. And I really feel like iron sharpens iron. So I'm glad to see that these guys, are hungry out there, and these guys are competing at a high level. Now, another thing that I took out of training camp today is Michael Penix Jr. is starting to get a little bit more comfortable. They did state on Saturday that there was some drop passes and things of that nature by Drake London and a couple of different guys on the offensive side of the ball. I'm not too concerned as far as the offense. They did state that the defense kind of dominated on Saturday and the offense kind of rebounded a little bit today. But personally, I'm not too concerned with the offense because everything on offense mainly is timing when it comes to throwing the ball and things of that nature. So the defense should kind of have a leg up on the offense, especially in the beginning of training camp, because they're out there. It's like 11 on 11 drills and things of that nature. So the defense is possibly going to look a lot better than the offense, because offense is about chemistry and things of that nature as far as when it comes to throwing the ball. Penix getting comfortable with his wide receivers, them breaking off their route at a certain yardage, and Penix is going to let the ball go when he expects those guys to break on their routes and things of that nature. So I'm not too concerned with the offense. I really feel like they're just trying to develop that chemistry. And because it's been guys in and out, like Darnell Mooney, did go down with an injury. So guys like Cordell Hodge is now stepping up and filling in. You recently brought in DJ Chark, who's not familiar with any of these guys pretty much on the team. You're going to have, bad passes at times. You're going to have interceptions at times. You're going to have batted passes and things of that nature. We won't really know more until they kind of put the pads on out there, because right now they're out there just in jersey and shorts. So it's basically like almost like flag football or 11 on 11 type drills. So I really feel like as things pick up, I really going to be watching the joint practices. I really feel like the joint practices have a little bit more weight than when you're going up against your own team, because they're basically kind of know what each other are trying to do. The defense knows what the offense is trying to do. The offense knows what the defense is trying to do. And after a couple of days of training camp, it's kind of like repetitive, where guys know, because they know what, the offense, the defense knows what the offense is trying to do. Guys are able to break on routes and things of that nature, but they're trying to create certain looks out there on the field. So I'm not too concerned by what I'm hearing out of the offense. I do think that this offense is going to be very explosive. I do think that this defense is going to be a lot better because they added a lot more athletic guys on the team. They've talked about on the defensive side of the ball, guys like Devon Diablo has really stood out at that inside linebacker position because of his athleticism, his ability to cover in the middle of the field and things of that nature. And the defense kind of has been winning, the days, because they've been physical. They've been punching at the ball and things of that nature. And I mentioned prior to training camp starting that I really feel like this defense is going to be predicated off of forcing turnovers and being a defense that's in attack mode at all times, especially in the front seven. These guys are going to be really, really aggressive. And that's what I like about Coach Ali, the defensive line coach that we brought in from Houston. He's all about attack, attack, attack. He talked about when you think about fighters, this defensive line is going to be kind of like Mike Tyson, where they're going in the ring to try to knock you out, and they're going to take big swings, and we're going to have guys rotating in and out to keep them fresh. And he talked about attack mode, running into the dark room and things of that nature. And I really expect that this to be a very aggressive style defense. Jeff Ulbrich is doing a great job with these guys. He's a former linebacker, of a very aggressive mindset type of guy. He talked about, the fist with all five guys or these guys playing together as a unit. So I really feel like this Atlanta Falcons team is looking really, really good. We've added a lot of depth, both on the offense and the defensive side of the ball, but especially in that front seven. I really feel like we're going to be a lot better, and that's where we've pretty much struggled over the last couple seasons, of being able to stop the run. That's the main thing I'm looking at, is sacks, pressures, stopping the run, and being able to create more negative plays on first and second down, because that's what our Falcons have struggled with. So I'm looking forward to these preseason games to see how well the defensive line, is able to put pressure and be able to stop the run and live in the backfield. That's what it's going to take on the defensive side of the ball. If we're able to improve on first and second down, to be able to create more third and long situations, I really feel like this Atlanta Falcons defense is going to be able to get more sacks, more pressures and things of that nature, if we stop the run on first and second down and limit yardage on first and second down and create more negative plays on first and second down. But with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on this Atlanta Falcons training camp. Like I said, I'm very excited for the season. I like what I'm seeing so far out of this team. I like what I'm hearing, that guys are competing at a very high level. And I really feel like it's going to be hard to make this 53-man roster, because we have so much depth in all of these different positions. I really feel like it's going to be hard to make this team. We're probably going to have to cut a lot of talented players and try to stash some of these talented players on the practice squad. So with that being said, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. If you enjoy my content, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell, so you'll know when I've given you guys updates as far as training camp and things of that nature, and also anytime I drop a video for you guys. So with that being said, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.